by the way, Julia Roberts will be in here today. I don't know how that happened. I was in Los Angeles, but I just got word this morning that she's coming in. And I've got to wrap up a lesbian dating game with Jenna Jameson and Nikki Tyler. So I want to
quickly. I mean, you know, usually we spend time with this.
No, well, we're overbooked. There's just no question about it. This is my producer who sees that Julia Roberts is coming in, so he doesn't knock one thing off and rearrange it.
Kind of last minute.
It was last minute, but I know you fit it all in.
What did you want me to do?
Bring in Kennedy, please, Gary, so I can spend 3 seconds with her.
Hi, Kennedy. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's what it's got to be. But she's selling a book. I want to give her a shot.
A book?
That's a book. She wrote a book called Hey Ladies. This is Kennedy. Tales and Tips for Curious Girls. And, oh, there she is. Hey, you look cute. There you go. Hi, baby. We would have had a whole bunch of time if,
It's Mrs. Chatton.
Chatty Pants. Well, it's hard,
Hi,
you know.
Robin. Good morning. Oh, you look so pretty.
Thank you. Robin looks good, too, doesn't she?
Oh, that was for me, you.
Kennedy, you, of course, were an MTV VJ. Is that correct?
Yes, for 5 years.
It happened for her pretty quick because...
You know what? It didn't seem like 5 years.
I know. To me, either.
Yeah.
I started in 92, and I was finished in late 97.
Yeah. And she was just like an intern out of college, or, you know, like the radio station in Los Angeles.
Yeah, K-Rock in L.A.
K-Rock in L.A.
That's right. I remember that.
And then all of a sudden, I guess MTV heard about you.
Yep.
And they threw you on.
Yeah, pretty much just like that. I got to New York on a Saturday night, and I was on Monday morning.
And they liked you because you opened your mouth and you said weird stuff.
Yeah, it was very funny. When I first got there, they were very much like, Howard Stern is very big right now, so you can be raunchy and naughty and grab yourself. And I was like, great, you know, because I was 20, and that seemed like a lot of fun.
Right.
And but then after a couple weeks, they're like, okay, you are no longer allowed to say rectum.
Right.
And, yeah.
They calmed you down.
They did.
They wanted you to be Howard Stern. In fact, they had come to me.
That's what happens with people.
Well, they came to me like years ago and said, gee, we'd love you to be a VJ. And I said, well, I don't think I want to be a VJ, but I tell you what, I'll go on for a weekend.
Yeah.
I went on, and then they just said, never have him on again. I go,
every time you go there,
yeah.
they throw you out.
They threw me out. I was like, well, what do you mean? You wanted Howard Stern, here I am. I don't know, it was very strange.
Even when you went, you know, they invited you to the award show that year.
Yeah.
That was my first award show. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I was just, I was so obsessed with you.
Right.
I mean, not in like, you know,
a bad way.
A sexual way.
Oh,
there was
really?
always that undertone.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that you were the greatest thing ever.
Thank you.
I still do.
Thank you very much.
Although you're going to be on in Seattle soon, but you're not on yet.
Is that right? Have you heard rumors?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be good. We want to be in Seattle.
Yes,
I
I would very much enjoy that.
I like that you know that I'm going to be on in Seattle, and I don't.
You don't.
Have you heard something?
Yeah.
Oh,
because
really?
I do a talk radio show in Seattle.
Yes.
And they were talking about, you know, like, oh, well, you know, Howard's coming on, he's going to change the whole landscape, and everybody duck. And
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Everyone's all nervous.
Wow.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, good.
so I
Okay.
was like, put him on here.
I'd love to be on in Seattle.
Yeah.
Why did you? Now, MTV has asked you to come back and be a VJ many times.
They did. We talked about it a couple times when I left.
Right.
And, you know, they were always like, well, would you like to come back and work for us?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of things I'd like to do, but they don't, you know, they wanted me to be a VJ, but I'd already done it for 5 years.
And is that
and
a bad
I didn't want to live in
thing?
New York anymore. No, it's not a bad thing at all.
See, my career, I always said, as long as they'll hire me,
Why would you?
and if I have nothing else going on in terms, I would stay.
Yeah.
And then when I got something else going on, I'll leave.
Yeah.
But you appear
But
to
I
have moved
wanted to do other stuff.
Like what?
And,
What do you want to do?
I want to do obviously more political stuff.
Right.
And they were.
But can't you do that while being a VJ? A VJ isn't that demanding.
No. They always tried to kind of keep me from doing that stuff in a way.
So now you haven't been a VJ for a while. Have you done political stuff?
Yeah.
Or what have you done?
I do stuff on like MSNBC.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've seen her every once in a while, you know, in one of those kind of panels.
Oh, all right.
Yes, exactly.
I
I was doing a little bit of punditry during the Lewinsky thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And did you get paid for that? See, that doesn't sound like a job.
On new stuff you don't. But no, I was writing my book most of the time.
See, oddly enough...
But I moved to Seattle because I have a fiancé there.
Well, let me back up for a second.
Okay.
Oddly enough, people think I'm sort of a wild, crazy guy, but when it comes to work, I'm very conservative.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, I got a job.
You would never just leave.
Yeah, like I wouldn't leave this.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's a good thing.
But you're not one of those guys who has to do other things.
Well, I really have nothing else I can do. You know what I mean? Like, I was just in California, and I have a bunch of things. I got a production company, I got a movie going on, I got a TV thing going on. And I go, well, that's cool, but this is my job.
Yeah.
So I don't
But
understand.
MTV was never like that, and you don't get the feeling like if you wanted to stay there another 3 years,
They would let you.
Yeah, if I had chosen to stay there after I left because my boyfriend was injured. That's why I left New York.
Now you got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
He was injured?
Yeah.
Well, when you were at MTV, there were some guys who came on to you, right?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
No,
Like famous people?
Sometimes, but not really.
Yeah, but
It was only like the kind of creepy guys.
wait a second. Here, wait. I got a list of some guys I think that.
That had the hots for her?
Yeah.
Kelly Slater says hi, Robin.
Who is Kelly Slater?
He's the world champion surfer.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, that was Pam's boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh, Pamela Anderson's boyfriend?
Yes.
Now, Pam's back with Tommy Lee?
I
That's
know.
what I'm reading.
Why would she go back with him?
Because she's nuts.
No, but I mean, didn't he push her down the steps or
Yeah,
something?
he
Was-
hit her while she was holding her baby.
Kids.
Now,
No, while she was holding the baby.
While holding the
like
baby.
the youngest one, the newborn.
She was holding her new baby, and he kicked her.
Yeah.
So she threw him out.
Took him to court, had him thrown in prison.
Yeah, why, they should throw her in prison now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They have like they have the dialogue of a conversation they had on the phone.
Right.
Where Tommy's saying, Pam, we had some really good times together. And Pam says, what are you talking about? You're always drunk and crazy in front of the kids. And he goes, yeah, well, honey, but I love you. What are we going to do? And she goes, I love you too. What are we going to do? And then the next thing you know, they're in court smooching in the hall.
In court?
Yeah.
But she was always...
Wait a second. What do you mean in court?
There was some other Motley Crue person who's in bankruptcy court or something,
Yeah.
and Tommy had to go testify.
And she went with him?
That's like a date for them. They go to court and smooch in the hall.
That is a hot date, though. That's fun.
She always alluded that she would get back with him. I mean, she always said that in articles. She's like, well, any man who's in my life has to know that I have 3 children, and Tommy's one of them.
No, hold it a second. I was at Scores with Pamela Anderson one night. I was there with her and Nat, who's on the show, and some other people.
Uh-huh.
And I was sitting and talking to her, and she had had a couple of drinks, so she was being very open.
Right.
And she told me no way she would ever go back with Tommy, that it was an abusive thing.
In fact, but, that was like right after and all that stuff, and she was like, yeah, he was horrible, and it was awful, and I'm so glad to be out of it, but obviously she's forgotten the bad times.
All right, here, getting back to Kennedy, though. Here it is. Okay.
Anywho.
Yeah, anywho, you were, okay, here, what's the story with you and James Woods? Did he come on to you?
Yes, he wanted me to wear a Catholic girl's uniform and sit on his lap during a hockey game.
During a hockey game?
Yes.
Is that really true?
Yes, that's really true.
James Woods, we've had him on the show.
I don't know. He thought I was like the naughty schoolgirl because he's 25, 26 years older than me.
Right.
And he was always very nice, and he thought that I was charming because I laughed at his Hillary Clinton joke.
And he supposedly has he's very large in his pants.
That's what I hear, yeah.
Which maybe scared you. I don't know. Because you were a virgin at the time, right?
Yes, at the time.
You've lost your virginity, though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
When did you
I've been
do
with
that?
Dave for 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you lost your virginity 4 years ago?
Not quite 4 years, but no.
Longer than
Later,
that.
later.
Oh, you made him wait a year?
Little while.
Because while you were a VJ, you were a virgin.
Yes, I was.
And you weren't kidding about that.
No, and there are guys that are like, oh, yeah, I had her, I did her, I nailed her down, woo! But that
Never happened.
No. And if I ever see those guys, because I know a couple guys that made up rumors, I'm going to hit them so hard in the face.
But let me understand something.
Yes.
You're what now, 26?
Yes.
Okay. So
So she lost her virginity at like 23, 20?
Yeah.
to the same guy you're going to marry.
No.
So you'll never experience another man other than your husband?
I hope not.
Really?
No.
Wow. And has he had other women?
A few.
A few.
Yeah.
What is he, a snowboarder?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, though? You're like kind of an intellectual girl. Or you sort of come off that way? You got a lot on your mind?
I'm kind of dumb, but I come off.
But you're marrying a snowboarder.
Yeah, but he's a real great guy.
He is?
Yeah, he's wonderful.
But you're marrying him because he's really cute.
Wait a minute.
No.
Are you saying snowboarders can't be smart?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
There's no way
No.
someone who spends their life snowboarding is not smart. I don't care what anyone tells me.
It is the greatest job in the world.
It is.
Yeah, he's been to so many countries and seen so many things. And
Yeah, I don't know the guy. I'm not putting him down.
No.
I'm just saying I don't believe that
no,
anybody...
but as a race, they seem like they're not very smart people.
Well, it just seems to me that if you could just be satisfied in life with snowboarding the rest of your life...
seriously, the people that do those kinds of things, surf, snowboard, whatever, for a living, they got the market cornered.
But he hasn't been able to snowboard for 2 years because he had a terrible injury.
Yeah, he did, but he rehabilitated.
And how do you make a living being a snowboarder?
You have several sponsors. He's got his own model snowboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you can and the idea is you stand up on the surfboard and you slide down the mountain.
And he jumps off cliffs and does little spins
I
and
see.
flips and tricks like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen...
Okay, so wait a minute. Then you would put all athletes in that category.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Trying to get clear
Yeah.
on
No, I wouldn't put all athletes, but...
Well, what's the difference?
Okay, here's the difference. Like,
I think snowboarding is as far as my personal experience, it's much more spiritual than playing basketball.
Okay, can I say something?
Please.
That means you get high when you do it. That's
Yeah. Can I just say something? I got to tell you something.
Okay, go on.
Like a football player, I understand.
What are you? What? He's not bright.
No, but he's making a living at it.
Yeah, but
okay?
he's a meth head and he has to take steroids.
No, he doesn't. And then it's like, well, not all of them. And then it's like, but surfboarding on a snow. I can even see surfboarding in the water. This is like
that's smart.
Because this isn't even this is like a game you do when you're a kid.
No.
It's much
I know,
harder
but that's why.
Do you
make
think
a business out of something?
how much money do you think this guy is making?
He makes a lot of money, probably.
No.
He does.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There are stars who do very well.
Yes.
Yes.
Excuse me. What do you call a lot of money, Robin?
In the 6 figures?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
Oh, come on.
No, you should see some of these guys. Oh, yeah. No.
I don't believe
You
it.
don't understand what's going on out there.
I understand plenty.
No, you don't understand.
Whatever.
I know one snowboarder who has 2 houses and a Dodge Viper.
Nice.
Look, I don't even know how those ski guys make money, but they got chalets, okay?
All right. Listen. So then,
Skiing's been going downhill for years. No pun intended.
you say when you were, so here's a list of other guys, because I'm screwing up. I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody in today, but we got Julia Roberts coming in, and a whole lesbian dating game thing. Like, we just done the lesbian dating game thing
And that would
today.
have been a show.
Yeah. All right. Quentin Tarantino asked you out?
Yeah, that was more like, that wasn't sexual. Again, I was interviewing him for Pulp Fiction.
Right.
And he was like, so what are you doing later? He was like, you want to go eat? And it wasn't like, hey, baby, I love you.
Right. So who knows what? It could have been friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand the James Wood thing, though. You went out on a date with him?
No, I never went out on a date with him.
I think she was scared of him. I don't blame her.
She just had phone.
I'm scared of him.
He's very amusing. He's very, very funny.
Very bright guy.
Yeah. He's got an acerbic wit.
Right. Yes.
You say he's very bright just because of that Mensa thing.
Yeah, he's got a high IQ.
That only tests an ability.
Can you imagine sitting on his lap with that python in his pants? I mean, really.
With a schoolgirl?
With a schoolgirl outfit on? Did he really ask you to wear a schoolgirl outfit? He did.
Yeah, he was really cool. He's a nice guy, though. He's
Is
funny.
that the request of a very smart man?
It's a horny smart man.
Yeah,
that's all. I think it's a creative man who says, hey, dress up in a schoolgirl outfit.
Like every guy hasn't said that.
I like that. I don't know.
Football players can say that.
I think that's sexy.
It's classy.
All right, wait a second.
Classy.
All right, this is I'm not sure I even understood this note, because Benji took a couple of notes. And
And he was so nice. We talked for a long time.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
You say when you were at MTV, the other VJs were getting into all kinds of troubles, like passing out with hookers and stuff. Is that true?
That's great.
I think I might have embellished a little bit, but yeah, there were people who were getting in trouble. And
Right.
you have to follow them around and just be like, shake your head.
But don't you think MTV would like that, because that's a rock and roll
they
image?
love that.
Oh, they do love that.
They do love that unless it somehow infringes.
Right.
Unless it, like,
yeah,
makes
your
news
studio
in a
time.
bad
Yeah,
way,
exactly.
The best thing I thought you ever did, well, it wasn't the best. It's just sort of odd, was when you were performing fellatio on the microphone behind Mayor Giuliani.
I've gotten so much. I didn't think I was
couldn't
gonna
believe
get
you were doing
trouble
it.
for that.
I was shocked.
The reason I did it was because Roseanne in her monologue at the 1994 Video Music Awards was saying that I gave Rush Limbaugh.
Yes, fellatio.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And the whole audience laughed. And then I got up on stage with Bill Bellamy and Rudy Giuliani, and they started booing.
Oh.
And so I got so nervous, and it was just like an automatic make them laugh reaction. I was like,
Right.
have to do something, must win crowd over. And I did that, and everybody started laughing. So I was like, oh, what a success.
Right.
You know, I didn't think it was that big a deal. And then, I saw Tom Preston walking out, and I was joking. He's the CEO of MTV Networks, and I was like, "Hey, good working with you, Tom." He's like, "Yeah, you get out of here."
Because sometimes what people don't understand is that you want to be funny, you want to fulfill your job, and not everything's going to hit a home run.
No, exactly.
I remember,
some things are going to go over the line. When you push someone over the line and they cross it, you can't freak out. And they freaked out on me.
I mean, it was kind of like when you stand behind somebody and you give them, like, those rabbit ears. You know what I mean? But it was a little more intense. But, like, I was sitting there cringing and going, oh, my God, she's doing it.
Live worldwide television.
But that's what made you interesting. I mean, you were trying at least.
I have to ask another question now, since
Yeah.
she brings that up. You were a virgin till you were 23. How far did you go before that?
I didn't have any booty love. If that's what you're asking.
Okay, well, no. Let's back up. Wait a second.
You
bring up a good point, Robin.
Okay.
All right, your new book is called Hey Ladies by Kennedy.
Yes.
And actually, Benji's the one who read it on the show and said it's really good. You give advice to young girls.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
it's pretty sound advice. I mean, there's some humorous stuff in there, and it's not. And I actually wrote it, so.
right, and there's sexual advice.
Yeah.
And
Okay, what is the sexual advice?
now,
Sexual
Robin,
advice is pretty funny.
Robin brings up a good point. She's saying, like, okay, so you were saying, hey, I want to be a virgin until I meet the man I love and all that, which is very noble.
Yeah.
I admire that. I'm glad no one's like you, but
Stop it.
I would have had a hard
Your
time.
girls, that would be a good
I would give this to my girls to read based on
This is
that.
advice you would like them to take.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in your mind, was oral sex okay to give guys before you got
It
married?
depended on the guy.
So you would do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
See,
it depended on...
I don't
it wasn't like
understand that.
I was going around like...
See, then I think...
Every person I saw, like, oh, hey, there's John Norris. Drop him, buddy.
Yeah, but I think that means that you had some sort of sexual hang-up, because for you to make that distinction that oral sex is okay, that's still sex.
But it depends, because intercourse is so different than
Is
Are
it?
you Catholic?
It's really... No, I'm Eastern Orthodox.
What's that?
Who
Like
knows?
Greek Orthodox.
Greek Orthodox. That's even worse.
Yeah.
No, it's not worse. It's actually their priests get married and they get to use contraception.
Right.
Yeah, but they still give you a whole bunch of taboos about sex.
No, I'm not. It never came up.
See, I don't understand that whole thing. Like, to me, your mouth is just as sort of intimate
No, but you're not a woman. It's not the same. It's really not the same.
for a woman, because like President Clinton, you guys make up sort of rules to make it okay.
I know, and like in a way, it's...
Because if you think about it, it's almost like...
But I agree with you that it is sex.
But can I say something? It's almost like you're saying, okay, I'll pleasure a man, but you know what? I can't have any pleasure, and then it's like
No,
sex.
it wasn't like that.
Because how would you get pleasure? Like, he would perform oral sex on you?
Well, depending on the person. I'm not
Right.
going to go into specifics.
No, I understand. But I'm just saying, so to me, it's almost like you're having
But
sex.
it wasn't just a one-way street. I wasn't frigid.
Right. I know, I'm not saying you're frigid, but I
But
think...
you know what? My version
Your version.
version of a virgin
Yeah.
is somebody who's not doing anything.
Maybe
And
kissing.
And it depends on the person, and that is true for some people. Some people, when they have any sort of sex like that, consider themselves too
So
happy.
let me get it straight. You would get naked with a guy, perform oral sex, he would do oral sex on you.
No virgin.
And then, you would know virgin.
But see, that's fine, because some people
virgin.
don't consider that to be virginity, and that's fine.
See, President Clinton said...
But I never had intercourse. Like, I never had the...
Right. So President Clinton always says, hey, I didn't have sex with that woman because she...
But no, he said sexual relations, and those are sexual relations.
They are, okay.
Like, that is very, very sexual to do that. There's no question
But
about
you're
it.
calling yourself a virgin, and a virgin is someone who doesn't have sex.
Well, no, I think a virgin is someone who doesn't have intercourse.
No.
It depends on the person, though. Like,
She has her own rules,
You
is
know,
what I'm
it's like
saying.
a vegetarian who eats fish.
Exactly. It's the exact same thing.
So I guess as
But
a
I
result...
never ate the red meat.
I guess you're very good at oral sex because you've had a lot of practice.
Tons, yeah.
Yes.
They were lined up for weeks.
And this guy you're going to marry, the snowboard guy, he broke his back?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he can't be making any money while he broke his
No,
back?
he rehabilitated.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That they pay you for rehabilitating?
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to figure it out. All right, listen, Kennedy, come back sometime and see me again, because I would spend more
You're
time.
fascinating.
You are fascinating, actually.
You guys are so nice, and everyone's like, is he going to be mean to you?
No, I like you.
No, I like
Who
you
says
too.
that?
Who says that I'm going to be mean?
No, people,
Give us a list of those people.
Yeah, we want to
We can
know.
go after them.
We'll be mean to them.
No, you're very original. I like you.
I like you too. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And listen, go buy this book for your kids, because like at least they'll just give oral sex and not
Right, you
necessarily...
won't be all the way into it.
It's called Hey Ladies, Kennedy, and is this marketed for like what, like 16-year-old girls?
Yeah. Like, like 13 to 20.
13 to 20, and you will tell them how to conduct their
I
lives.
just had a flash.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wow. What age do most girls start to have sex?
Most of them start at 14.
I'd say maybe a little older, maybe like 15 or 16.
maybe.
Yeah, 15, 16.
16, they get the car back seat, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I have a 16-year-old daughter, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So you just had that flash? Well, I've had that flash before, too.
Well, I don't see it every day, so
Well,
it just
yeah,
hits
exactly. Yeah, good for you. Good. That lightning bolt just went off in your head. But, no, my kids don't have sex.
Well,
No.
Like Kennedy.
but every day is like a day, you know?
How do you have sex if your dad won't let you out of the house? We gave my wife, I was on the plane coming home from California, but my wife gave my daughter a driving lesson yesterday.
Oh, your kid?
Well, yeah, they got in the
Is she
car.
taking driver's ed?
No, she hasn't taken driver's ed yet, but now she's old enough to get her learner's permit.
I see.
And I'm like,
So how did that go?
that's kind of weird.
It's scary.
That is
I mean,
scary.
'cause that's real freedom.
Yeah, that's like...
I mean, they can drive.
They can get away.
Yeah, they really can. I remember at 16, like, my whole life changed. My self-esteem changed, everything at 16.
And I know, like, my wife's already like, well, this car, she'll have to get her this kind of car. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
you're already getting a car?
And I went, well, wait a second. When was that decided? That she could drive around in her own car?
Yeah.
Well, everybody does, though.
Get a job, get your own car. No one got me a car.
You're not going to not get your girls a car.
No,
You
I'm
want
not.
them to be safe? Get them a nice, like, Volvo.
They can drive my car if I'm not using it.
What kind of car do you have?
How did you feel about that?
Get a Jeep.
Yeah,
How
that's
did you
that's
feel
safe.
about
Yeah.
that?
What?
How did you feel about that driving the Monte Carlo?
I felt great. I was thrilled my father let me drive. What, I care if my kids look cool in their car? I didn't look cool.
No, you want your daughter to look uncool.
I think we could pull some tape where you were screaming at your dad.
Yeah, but meanwhile, the dude let me... I totaled his car. All right, look. Kennedy, the book is called Hey Ladies, Tales and Tips for Curious Girls. Actually, it's really good.
It was sort of good. She pulls apart in the sex advice.
Right.
No, I mean, I don't say save yourself until you're married, because that's
what you should be saying.
No, I say, just wait until... Because a lot of girls have sex because they think that a man is going to like them more.
Right.
It's true. They think that somehow they're opening the door to...
love.
Yeah, to commitment, and it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, after you have sex with us, we hate you, actually. It's available at bookstores everywhere.
That's so cute.
Kennedy's going to be appearing tonight at 7:30 p.m. in New York City at the Barnes & Noble Astor Place location, so guys can go meet with you.
Absolutely.
And talk to you and say hello, so that's going to be very nice. And
She's
Thursday...
getting married? She said she's been with this guy for 4 years.
Yeah, she's getting married.
Oh, look at that.
You're getting married. Let me see the ring. Oh, look at that. That's for real, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so... okay. Thursday will be appearing in Los Angeles at Book Soup at 8 p.m. Isn't that right? Okay.
You're so funny.
I'm just kidding. Congratulations. It's good for you to be married. Believe me. You don't need...
What else you got to do?
That's it. All right, we're going to be back right after this. Now, how are we going to do a lesbian dating game in 20 minutes?
I don't think that's possible.
Gary, this is an impossible task you've given me. I'm rushing through everything.
Every segment has been wonderful, but we can't spend any time.
Right.
Monkey boy.
Monkey boy.
Creature from the jungle. Monkey boy.
Like 5 minutes.
What'd you say?
Well, I can't talk over.
I got to do commercials now.
I know. We'll take commercial. We'll start the date in 5 minutes, and if it goes to like 8:40, that's okay, and then we'll get Julia in.
All right. 8:40 it goes to, then I'm going to take a break, and then Julia's not in here till 9 o'clock. No, it's not going to work.
Julia Roberts, she's real cute. Don't keep her waiting.
Well, yeah, she's a big star. People like to hear what she has to say.
Oh, yeah. Like, if I heard Julia Roberts is going to be on and I was headed to the airport, I would miss my plane.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you want to hear what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right, well, I'll take a break, and let's see what happens next. We'll be back right after these words. Thanks, Kennedy.